Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear students, welcome to the online classes. Today our new topic is characteristic of sound. In the last lecture, I discussed one of the characteristic, which was loudness. So now we will discuss the further one. The name of the main topic is characteristic of sound. There are three characteristics. Number one, loudness. Number two, pitch. Number three, quality or timbre. So, in the last meeting, I discussed the loudness of sound. As a revision, loudness of sound is that characteristic by which we can distinguish or differentiate between two sounds. One is loud and other is faint. One is loud sound and other is faint sound. So the difference between these two sounds represent in the characteristics is named loudness of sound. Now we will discuss the further two. So in this case, number two is pitch. Pitch of sound, or you can say pitch, is that characteristic of sound by which we can differentiate between shrill and grave sound. Shrill and grave sound. So when we differentiate between the shrill and grave sound, this differentiation, this discrimination give me the idea with the help of pitch. This characteristic is known as pitch. So what do you mean by shrill and grave sound? By example, I make you understand the difference between the sound of woman and man. The woman's sound is shrill and the main sound is grave. अगर मैं इसमें उर्दू में आपको बताऊं तो बारी और बारीक, मर्द की आवाज़ बारी होती है which is called grave, और औरत की आवाज़ बारीक होती है, that is called shrill. So this differentiation between the two sounds give me by the idea of pitch. So for example, the difference in the sound of man and woman. It is also show that how much the sound has frequency larger and smaller. I mean to say, if the frequency is larger, then the shrillness will be also larger. Whereas if frequency is smaller, the graveness is larger. So pitch is that characteristics by which we can show which sound has greater frequency and which sound has smaller frequency. So the sound which belong to the greater frequency, then it means that it is shrill, more shrill and less grave, and the sound which is more grave than less shrill because of smaller the frequency. So pitch will directly depend upon the frequency. In this case, I give you another practical example. What is the genuine and easy practical example? Consider a wheel of bicycle as shown in figure. This is the center point axle. These are the rods connected to the rim, connected to the outer surface of bicycle wheel and axle of the wheel. So already you observed in your practical life. So when this wheel tends to rotate, and if I keep a cardboard in my hand with the help of a piece of cardboard, when we touch the cardboard, to the rods of wheel in lower and upper position, time by time, then we observe different sounds. So when we connect the cardboard in this area and the wheel is rotating in a uniform motion, in the uniform speed, when we touch this area which is called A, and then we shift this cardboard to area B, which is like this. In the two different positions, we will have difference in the gap between the two rods. In the lower area, the space between two rods is smaller, whereas in the upper area, the space between two rods is larger. So as a result, what this reflects, when the space decrease, it means wavelength decrease. Wavelength decrease, frequency increase. When frequency increase, the sound will be shrill. And when we shift this cardboard to the area, outer area, which is B, represented in diagram, so in this case, the space between the two rods is larger. So it means wavelength is larger and frequency is smaller. When frequency is smaller, the sound will become grave. Then it is shift from the shrill to grave. So these two differences gives different sounds we hear by our ear. And this difference in the sound regarding shrillness and graveness. So it is directly depend upon the frequency. So this experimental activity proved that as the frequency is larger, the shrillness will be larger. As the frequency is smaller, the shrillness will be smaller, but graveness will be larger. So these two are inverse to each other. So as you observe in your daily life, the female sound is very, very sharp. You can say shrill. And the main sound, it is grave. So it depends upon the designing of the vocal cord. The structure of the vocal cord. The main vocal cord is different from the woman vocal cord. So that's why naturally we produce, the men and women produce different sounds. So that is depend upon the frequency. So as a result, we can differentiate the woman sound from the male sound. So this quality, this characteristics help us with the help of pitch. Now the third one is quality. Third characteristic of sound is quality. Or it is also represented by timbre. So it is the third characteristic by which we can differentiate between two sounds. Even both have same loudness and pitch. So this quality give us the differentiation between two sounds having both characteristics same. Loudness and pitch is same in the two sounds, but instead of these two, same in quantity, same in characteristic, these two sounds can also be differentiated instead of having the same loudness and same pitch. So this differentiation can be occur with the help of quality or timbre. So this is the characteristic of sound. By which we can differentiate between two sounds even they have same loudness and pitch. For example, the difference in the sound of guitar and sitar. For example, the difference in the sound of mouth organ and piano. For example, the difference in the two other musical instruments like pipe organ and mouth organ. Similarly, guitar and rabab. Similarly, dole and dolak. So, with the help of this characteristic, we can differentiate between the sounds of the musical instruments, even they have the same pitch and loudness. So, this is totally about the characteristic of sound, and I just give a quick review. There are three characteristics of sound. One is loudness, second is pitch, and the third one is quality or timbre. So you must keep in mind, and it is very important question, and inshallah we will discuss the other topic in the next meeting, which is sound intensity and the intensity level.